Okay, welcome everybody. How you doing? It's good to see everyone here today. Live at the Ryerson Hillel Loft. Today's topic, I think, is a fascinating conversation. And what I would like to do is, I want to read with you a little bit of psukim, right? I want to read a little bit from the Torah. I want you to think about what theme or what themes are being highlighted in these psukim. Okay? So I want you to think thematic. I want you and see if we can come up maybe with a theme. And then of course what will be important is, why this theme? Everyone with me? What's the theme? Why this theme? Let's play a game. We're gonna read from Perek Yud Bet, and the truth is that what we're going to read appears a number of different times in our parsha this week. It's reiterated when the Jewish people actually do it, and almost there's a reflection of it. So it's going to be highlighted many, many times, and each time I think highlights what I want to call the theme in different ways, but seeing it once for our purpose will be sufficient, especially given our time constraints. Let's begin. Vayomer Hashem el Moshe vel Aaron be'eretz Mitzrayim lemor, hachodesh hazeh lachem roshei chodashim, rishonu lachem l'chodshei hashana. So this is talking about Rosh Chodesh Nisan, but let's move on from here, because this is what I want to highlight. Here is the commandment that God is giving Moshe and Aaron to tell the people. What is it? Here it is. Again, we are, just to reiterate, what is the theme? What is the theme? What's being highlighted? What's being accented over and over and over again? Daberu el kol adat Yisrael. Speak to the entire congregation of Israel, saying, Be'esor lachodesh hazeh. When are you going to do this? On the 10th day of Nisan. What are you going to do? V'yikchu lahem ish. Se leveit avot. Se labayit. Every person, v'yikchu lahem ish. People will take. What will they take? A se. A goat. What type of goat will this be? Leveit avot, each household, each family household. Celebrate, each house. What do you think is being highlighted already in the introductory words? Bayit, the word house. Wonderful. Let's continue. Ve'im yimat habayit miyot miseh. What does that mean? If the house is small from the goat, what's it referring to? Let's face it. You just got married. It's just you and your husband. Just you and your wife. Maybe you have a little baby. You're not. For now, you can't eat a whole goat yourself. It's too much. So what do? This is the pasuk. If the house, not the family, it's highlighted the word house. Once again, right now, if the house is too small for one seh, lakachu shchino karav el beitel. You go to the neighbor. Let's together have a seh. Hakarav el beitel. Next to the, here's that word again, house, adjacent to the house. B'michsat nevashot. Ish lefiach lo t'chasol haseh. We will make sure we'll have the right amount of allotted people dedicated towards the sheep. So for example, here's my sheep. It is yay big, and I'm going to cut it into, it's okay, for you. Great, all of us together, we will be able to have one set. That's wonderful. That's great. So if I cannot devour, if I cannot eat, me and my wife, one will join up. By the way, this clearly is one of the reasons, I think, we're having a lot of people over for Seder is ingrained in the very fabric of the nature of the evening. Right? So, remember, if my household is small, I go to my neighbor, we join together. Let's continue, please. Now, what type of animals is going to be? It'll be a set tamim. Now, what's a set tamim? What does tamim mean? As opposed to? Blemish. Very good. Zachar. Ben shana yelachem. Min kvasim azim tikachu. Take them from the goats, take them from the sheep. Doesn't matter. Question.
It already said before you need to say.
Okay, so here's what's hard. In Hebrew, the word seh means a goat or sheep. So what we're trying to say is you can take either a goat or a sheep. That's actually the halacha.
So here it just specifies?
Right. It just says take it from either one, yeah. Question. If I were to show you Pasuk Hey, out of context, I cover everything, and I show you a line in the Torah that says, take a goat, unblemished, a year old. If you had to hedge your bets where you'd find such a verse, would you bet? What sefer might you find it in? And why? By the Mishkan. What sefer is that called? Vayikra. Vayikra talks with the various korbanot. So it's ringing in my ear korban. Tamim, Ben Shana. Right, hold on to that. Vav. You're gonna guard it. When are you supposed to take it? What was the date that you take it on? On the 10th. It's gonna hang out. You're gonna hang out with it till the Arbasar. What will you do? And who's gonna shecht it? Now this is very important. What do you mean the entire congregation of Israel? Didn't we just say that two families could join together? What, every person has to now touch the knife when they shecht it? It's actually not true. This will become very important. From here we learn a fundamental principle in Jewish law. Shulucho shel adam k'moto. If I appoint a messenger to fulfill my bidding, it's as if I'm doing it myself. The classic example, I don't necessarily recommend this or encourage it, but I would like to betroth a lady. So, here's my ring. I don't have to go to Rachel and say, here's a ring, Harei Mekudeshet Li, because I have a business appointment. I have to catch a plane. Again, I don't recommend this. Right? This doesn't go over very well with the in-laws. And he says, I can't make it. Steve, roommate, my friend, do me a favor. Rachel, there's this guy who I want to get to her first. Do me a favor. Here's a ring. I'm giving it to you. Will you go please betroth? Will you be Mekadesh Rachel for me? Sure, no problem. He goes to Rachel and he says, Hare at Mekudeshet, not Li, Mekudeshet le Greenberg, but the Batzok. Again, I don't recommend it, I don't encourage it, that's not the popular thing to do. And by the way, I get works the same way. Different things in Jewish law, as long as it's not on my body. For example, my body needs to shake a lulav, put on film. That I can't have a shliach do for me. Right? It's somewhat related to this for Kiddush. One person can recite Kiddush, you can hear it, Shemei Ka'onet, right? The din of a revud, Kol Yisrael Avimda. It's different things I don't necessarily need to do. Someone can kind of do it for. One of the classic examples is Korban Pesach. Even though the Torah says the entire Adat Yisrael, the entire congregation, so the Gemara, everyone's going to shach, we just said that's not true. The answer is, if we all join together, and you appoint me as the shochet of our communal set, it's as if each and every one of you are doing it. You follow? We're just learn from here. That will be important in a minute.
Is there also a specified time when it has to be done?
No. Meaning, the Korban Pesach has to be done at a certain time. Like, is there like a statute of limitations on it?
But it says on the 14th. Because
yes.
we have the idea of Rosh Chodesh. That we're looking at setting time.
To fulfill it. Yeah, so that's on the 14th, yeah. I thought you meant like a shaliach, you appoint a shaliach to see if it's set time. So, okay, next. V'lakchu et adam. You're going to take the blood. Now we know what we're going to do with this blood. What do we do with this blood? V'natnu al shtei mezuzot v'mashkaf. You put it on the doorpost and it went to the door, right? The whole. Al habatim asher yuchlu tobem. In the house that you're going to eat this this Korban Pesach. Now this is very strange. This is very odd. Blood? On a doorpost? That's like a little freaky, a little gross. Why are we doing that for? Let's continue. You'll eat. By the way, it finally tells us that we're going to eat this meat. Up until now, it hasn't really said we're going to eat this meat. Definitely not explicitly. Here it explicitly says, then you're going to eat this meat. How are you going to eat this meat? Tzli Eish. That's called? Barbecue. Matzot al miror michlu. With matzah and maror. Alafa. Right? Al tochlu mimenu na. Don't eat it. What's na? Raw. By the way, na means with haste. So don't eat it with haste, i.e. don't eat it raw. Now, what's like Martha Stewart here? Like, this is the culinary... What's going on here? Beef tartare, right? Very good. Beef tartare is a delicacy, no? Why is the Torah telling me... Excuse me. Don't tell me to eat my meat. Already tell me when to eat it and what to eat. At least let me decide how to... No. Why only barbecue? Let's continue. And not only that, you can't eat it raw. And bashel muvusha b'mayim. You can't cook it. Cooking is using the medium of water. You can't cook it. Rather, once again, it already told us and it's emphasized again. Ki im tzli eish rosho al kra'av al kirbel. You take it full on the skewer on the pit. That's pretty intense. For lo totir me'boker, no leftovers. So you got to eat it. Now I understand why I got to make sure I put it over my house. That's not environmentally friendly. I want to waste food because I can't even benefit from leftovers. Not benefiting from leftovers. That term is called notar, and we know that is a very korban word. Every korban has a statutory of limits. Some for a day, and 2 days, and 3 days, you don't have a korban. So this sounds like a korban, right? There's a statute of limitations. Low tutor. The moment it's boker, the moment the sun begins to rise or the sky begins to lighten up, that's it. You can't eat it anymore. You're finished. What do you have to do with the leftovers? Ba'esh tisrovu. Burn it. Fine. Yudov. Kachot now. Then the Torah, not only is the Torah going to tell you when or how, it's going to tell you what you're going to wear. This is what you're going to wear when you eat it. What is going on here? This is how you're going to eat it. Matnechem chagurim. Your pants basically will be girdled or fixed or worn. Nalechem beraglechem. This clearly can't be Toronto. You're wearing shoes, right? Because this is not Toronto here, right? You have to wear shoes, tied, fastened. Umakelchem beidchem. And a makel, a stick in your hand. V'achatem ato b'chibazon pesach u'lashem. What is going on here? How you eat it, when you eat it, what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear. It's like a fashion faux pas. This is terrible. I don't want to wear that. That's not in style. Wear it. I don't know. Right? You got to look up the GQ of Egypt. I don't know these days. Right? Very strange. What's the theme? Or what are the themes? What's the message? What's its purpose? Okay, let's continue. I advertised that we're going to end it to 3. I don't know if I'll be able to. I might need 4 minutes. Vavarti ve'eretz mitzrayim balayla hazeh. And I will pass over on Egypt that night. V'keti kol b'chor bet Yisrael and I will smite all the firstborn. Madavar b'ma v'chol mitzrayim eser shvutim ani Hashem. V'haya hadam lechem la'od. The blood will... Oh, finally, we're getting back to this blood. It's going to be a sign on your houses. Batim asher atem sham that you're there. I will see the blood, and what will I do? I will... Okay, so this is a very difficult word to translate. Despite the fact that we very, shall we say, nonchalantly translate the word Pesach as Passover, it's not so simple. The reason is because of a pasuk in Malachim. It's Eliyahu Navi tells and gives a musar to Bnei Israel. Madua atem poschim o shnei seifim. Right? What would happen in the times of Eliyahu Navi? The Jewish people were worshiping the Baal and God. And what's Eliyahu telling them? Why are you hovering? Why are you hopping between the two? So probably, not passing over between the two, probably the better word for Pesach is not Passover, but like hovering. Now that's not going to go over very well. Try to identify the holiday. Oh, it's a hovering holiday. It's coming up, and that's not going to work, right? So we'll see the Pesach. We'll see the Passover. Do you have any hovering food? That's not going to go. It's not going to work. So we're kind of stuck with the word Passover, but I don't know if that's necessarily the best translation. Also, the context doesn't. You'll see won't fit as well. Is he going to pass over the houses? Really, God's not passing over the houses. God is going to hover. God's presence is always there, right? So it could be an important distinction. Anyways, okay, now here's where Moshe actually tells the people what to do. Take it, select. Again, every tzon, right? We see here there's a se and tzon are interchangeable, right? That's we see it could be either one. And you'll shacht it for Pesach. And you'll take hyssop and you'll fall badam, you'll dip in the blood that's in the south. You'll put it on the mashkaf, the mezuzot. Fine. You're not to leave your house. And there'll be a plague. Fine. Themes. Let's talk themes. What is going on here? Question number 1. Is this a korban? Doesn't appear so. I shacht it. I sprinkle blood. Sprinkling blood happens on almost every korban. Just flip the page. It's source number 4. Sprinkling blood on the mizbeach is quite common. That's what you do with the blood. You put it on the mizbeach. I shacht it. No blemishes. No notar. Some korban you eat. What is the major component that's missing if it's a korban?
That the Kohen shafts it.
Okay, but I can shaf on korban sometimes. No, not for every korban. That was like a one-time deal, right? What is the main player of a korban that's missing?
Oh, isn't it usually an individual or you represent yourself? This is like you're combining. People don't like
okay, so sure, we don't usually combine korbanot. Good, excellent. That'd be very important, right? I'll give you an example. Where do you sprinkle the blood if it's a korban?
There's no mizbeach.
Where's the mizbeach? Where's mizbeach? Where's mizbeach? Now, where's the answer? Okay. If you usually sprinkle blood on mizbeach, what is the mizbeach now? The house. It's clear. What is God telling the people? What's the message that God... Hear this? If you want to begin the process of redemption, it begins with your home and your house. You think that you need some type of... Where's the Kohen? You're the Kohen. Your house is the Mizbeach. You are, to some extent, transforming your home into something divine, into a sanctuary. You invite your shachen over, your neighbor over. What's the root word of shachen? Shechina. Mishkan. That's why it's emphasized over and over and over again. Your house and your family. The Beit Avot, the Bayit, the Beit, Mezuzah, Petach, everything's about the house. The house, and it offers you the physical protection as well, doesn't it? Now you'll appreciate why every time in the Chumash it's in the word house. I don't need both, but it's superfluous. I could use 30 examples of the word Bayit over and again. I just simply didn't have enough time or space, right? And every time the commandment is repeated, it's over mishpachotecha, over and over and over. It's clear. Now, wait a second. If this is just my house and my family, why am I knocking on my neighbor's door? And isn't it corporately brought for me? Now what's the answer? The message in Mitzrayim is not just about you and your bayit, invite the people next to you. If they have a small family, what does it mean to have a small family? They're younger, maybe someone passed away, so they're smaller. Invite them over. Share, split it. Remember what I told you? Where do we learn the concept? If you appoint a messenger, it's as if you did it yourself. It comes from Korban Pesach. Shlucho shel Adam Kamota. It's the first time we see the Jewish people are taking responsibility, not from a halachic perspective, from a familiar perspective, from a religious perspective, all coming together. This is where we learn the concept of shaliach from, of partnership, of someone else can represent you, someone else can join with you, someone can come. All comes from korban. So this is both a individual korban, a personal, a family, but kol kahal adat Yisrael, the entire Jewish people are bringing this korban. It's also this national type of korban as well. There's all the dimensions, and the emphasis is on the home. Theme number one of this korban is the home. The mizbeach, it's a korban, sacrificial, no leftovers, no moon, 1 year old, sprinkling of the blood. But the emphasis is not mishkan or mitash centered, but it is home centered. It is about the home, the family, the neighbor, and the community. Theme number one. Theme number two. What's with the get up? Like, what's with the clothes? I want to guess why you have a stick, clothes on, shoes.
Is there anything?
So, it says bracha, maybe because they're leaving. Now here's the problem with the leaving theory. When were they leaving? So now it's 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. When's the play going to happen? That's it. We'll just leave it at 12 midnight just because it's easier for now. Midnight. So I'm eating, I'm enjoying my meal, we're all here together, one set, we're eating, fine. Can't leave the house, we got blood on our doorpost, everything's great. It just said we can't leave our house. We're not leaving! Where are we leaving? We're not leaving. We're not leaving yet. Who leaves at 2 in the morning? Who leaves at midnight? When do we plan on leaving? This will be, actually, my next topic is going to relate to this a little bit too. When we plan, when was the original plan? Like, when were we supposed to set our alarm for? When were we supposed to leave Egypt? Shouldn't this be such an easy question to ask? When were they supposed to leave Egypt? Give me a time. Tell me a time.
Isn't it supposed to be the middle of the night?
Really? It just said in the Torah they're not to leave their house. Right? 10 in the morning, no? If you're going to leave at 10 in the morning, where did I get 10 in the morning from? Very simple. We want to sleep in. 8 in the morning, 11. We're not leaving at 2. We're leaving at 6. Only crazy guys like me wake up so early. Right? Why do we wake up early for? Actually, it's interesting. 6, I don't know, probably none of you. But I was in a car this morning driving down here, and 680 News said something very interesting. They said, people who sleep in on the weekend, with a 2-hour differential between the time they wake up during the week, are more likely to have metabolism issues. The reason is because your body is used to a certain pattern, and if you sleep in, then you weight gain and all these bad things, whatever. Okay. Why did I tell you all this for? I have no idea. No, I'll tell you why. Because originally the people were going to sleep in. They're not going to work. They're free. They're leaving Egypt. We're not going to wake up early. That you see why that would be very important. We understand why we eat matzah on Pesach. But that's a later topic. So, we're supposed to leave at 10 o'clock in the morning. That makes sense to me. Great. So, now, why? So bracha is saying, we're eating it with haste because we're leaving. Not so simple that we're leaving. Yeah, only way you can explain it that way is we knew that Paro will get really upset and go to Moshe and say, get out now in the middle of the night. And therefore we left. We end up leaving in the middle of the night. So,
they're also supposed to eat it slowly, so they're not in a rush.
What do you see slowly?
You can find it.
No, it's not slowly, directly.
Like
Just
benachad.
What was that?
Like benachad.
Where do you see that from?
We reckon.
No, I must say, so the answer is you're right. It says later on, which I didn't bring, it's specifically Nun Hein Vav, they're not allowed to break the bone. It says, Ube'etzem lo tishberu bo. They can't break the bone. Huh? You ever had a good piece of meat? Crack open the bone, maybe, right? Maybe you guys don't. You guys are high-class citizens, right? But you ever seen people, they get into the meat, they break it, they pick up the bone, they bite it, and they might go, why can they break the bone? Why do they have to be told what to wear? And what to hold, you have to hold your, that's not so easy. Hold your staff from one hand, they cut. Like, how do you do that exactly? Not so easy. So, there's another theme that I think is very important. And that is the theme of royalty.
Of what?
Royalty. If you're royal, you have a staff in your hand. You're wearing your finest clothing. Your shoes are on. I guarantee you, if the queen visits your house, you're not going to say, take your shoes off, please. Right? I don't think so. Wear your shoes. It's not, it could be that you're ready to leave. It could also be that we are ready to become Mamalachet Konim Kadosh. We're not royalty yet. But we are about to begin that process. That redemptive process. And the redemptive process begins with acting like royalty even though we are not royalty. And let me tell you, people who are at the upper echelons of society do not devour their bones and crack their bones when they eat. It's delicate, dainty. You have to curl your finger, your pinky when you eat. That's part of it too, right? So the second theme is one of nobility. Actually, it says in Sefer Chinuch, how come you can't break the bone? Because breaking bones is like a savage. Oh, they're slaves? They're still in Egypt? No. If you want to be transformed from a slave to someone who's noble or royal, or being part of Knesset Israel, you have to start acting that way. And if you act a certain way, you become a certain way. If you act like you're royal and you're noble and you're sophisticated, it can transform your personality. It can transform who you are and what you are. Your actions often affect the way you think and the way you feel. It's a whole psychology topic. Right? But I don't think anyone here studying psychology is Ryerson. Really do things that are like practical, right? Okay? It's true. Okay, nothing's wrong, right? Just reality. So what we see here is fascinating. Because we see here a second theme. And this theme is one of nobility. How we're dressed, how we... Now, barbecue. Oh, third theme. Our third theme is the following. Encyclopedia Britannica says that there's a certain civilization who perfected the bread baking process. Guess who that was? The Egyptians. Maybe the third theme is anti-Egyptian. Eating matzah might be anti-Egyptian because the Egyptians perfected the bread baking process, and we eat matzah. Maybe to some extent I'm saying I'm not Egyptian. I'm antithetical towards their culture, their way of life, their theology, their philosophy, their religion. And what do I take? I take a set. We know that in the ancient world, the sheep were looked upon as demigods. So why do I have it for 4 days hanging out in my backyard? You know, they can see it, they can hear it. If you barbecue it, you can't barbecue inside your house. Well, at least you shouldn't barbecue inside your house. Why? There's smoke inhalation. So if you have to take their God and do it outside, to some extent, you're publicly declaring, I'm not like them. You put the blood of the animal on your doorpost, you're not doing this God doesn't know who's Jewish. That's silly. Who's willing to self-identify as a Jew? Because if it's just telling God, then all I would do is put an X on my wall. You know, God has like X-ray vision, right? But if I put on my doorpost, I'm willing to show to everybody who am I. What am I willing to do? By the way, there are 3 mitzvot that pertain to the mezuzah. One is Korban Pesach. One is what we call mezuzah. Even though that's a really silly thing. We call it the mitzvah of doorpost. Right? Even though that's really taking Shema Yisrael on the doorpost. Right? And by the way, what's so fascinating is that culturally, from a Jewish cultural perspective, to some extent, mezuzah is a very much self-identifying symbol. You want to know the density of Jewish populations. Again, I'm not saying that if you don't have mezuzah, it means you're not Jewish. I'm not saying that. But we know one of the most basic, fundamental symbols in Judaism is mezuzah on the door. Yeah, by the way, it's a little bit ironic. I'll tell you why. Don't get me wrong. Don't take this the wrong way. It's good. Mezuzah on your front door, it's great. But from a halachic perspective, it's more important you have mezuzah on your bedroom door than your front door. Because your front door is Reshut Rabbi to your house. But your bedroom door is from Reshut Yachid to Reshut Yachid. So it's more important to have mezuzah. It's for sure Minatorah. Your front door is not so simple as Minatorah. That's why if you move into a house and you make a bracha, don't make a bracha on mezuzah on your front door. Make a bracha on your bedroom door. And then you put in other mezuzot, keep it in mind, you want to be in the front door. Isn't that neat? Very counterintuitive. But that's the halakha. Okay? So it's a self-identifying symbol. By the way, anyone know the third time you see mezuzah in the Torah? You're going to be upset at yourself if you don't know it. Mezuzah Mitzrayim. I'll give you a hint. Slave.
Oh, Eved
Eved Ivri. Right? Doorpost. Okay. Well, in Eved Ivri, doorpost. In Mitzrayim, doorpost. I mean, it's the same thing. It's clear. You want to be an Eved not to God? You want to be an Eved to God. Instead, you're choosing to be an Eved to your master. You pierce his ear. That's clear, right? By the doorpost. It's a famous Gemara. Okay, now, here's our third thing. Our third thing is anti-Egyptian. Anti-Egyptian. But those who claim that if the whole night is just being anti-Egyptian, that's a very negative message. We don't like negative messages. Negative messages aren't healthy. Just being anti is just cruel. Not just cruel, but it's just negative. So there has to be a dimension of anti-Egyptian, but there's also highlighting, I want to be positively Jewish. I want to take the God of the Egyptians. Do it in public. Self-identifying symbol. And where am I going to do this? Where am I going to highlight what will be the most important value? My house, my home, my family in terms of my physical family, my biological family, my family extended to neighbors, and my family extended to community, to Knesset Yisrael. Those are the 3 dimensions that I think exist in this Pesach Mitzrayim. And I think that's I believe is the fascinating dimension of this korban, of this idea, and this all coming together in one moment. And there's so many other themes and importance pertains to it, but I think for now, we'll leave it for here. It's really the beauty of Pesach Mitzrayim. I think all these elements play in. Now, some of these elements carry over for generations, and some don't. Meaning, to take it for 4 days, we don't have to be anti-Egyptian anymore as much, because we're in Israel with the Beit HaMikdash. So I don't need to take it 4 days early. I don't need to put blood on my doorpost. I don't need to do any of that stuff. Those things are a one-time event. Going forward, I still need to have the Korban Pesach in terms of we have to do it in household and no leftovers. That still exists. But I shecht it in the Beit HaMikdash and I eat it back in my home. What am I essentially? What's the message? I'm shechting it in the Beit HaMikdash, but I'm eating it with my family, with my home, with my community. I'm trying to bridge the 2 worlds, the world of the religious, the world of the temple. It can't just be a temple on some hilltop. It has to be bridged and tethered and connected to. It has to be a nexus between that and my home going forward. Okay. Thank you.